And to be honest, if he goes off on a map like Mirage, it's not going to be easy for the boys in yellow there, MIBR.
No, it will not be at all. And it looks like we are ready for the action. Mirage is the map, MIBR on the T side, North starting off as the defensive CTs. But let's see if the defense will be tenacious in the opening pistol round.
We do see a pretty aggressive hold coming out from the USPs. Not the best positions to play with the USPs there, because you tend to lose those duels against the Glocks up close towards A bomb site. They have no kits, no utility for North. So if it does come down to a retake play, it is going to get a little tricky indeed for the CT side. For MIBR, they have the flashbang in the hands of Fallen. He has dropped a P250 onto coldzera, who's kind of running the mini raid boss setup. He's got a P250 and the Kevlar. And coldzera, he's always lonesome though. Is he going to try and sell a fake here? Maybe try and get a pick early on, create a little bit of... Okay then! Starts things off. One bullet, one headshot. Thank you very much. And you can see the immediate rotation taking place as Yugi's going to be trying to bolstering that A-bomb side defense. And it's all involved there. He's going to find one looking for more, but Fair gets the kill. And that should be the bomb side going the way of MIBR.
Well, that's a disgusting way to kick things off. That's absolutely filthy. I'm not sure how he's gotten away with that, but he does begin with a bit of a banger. Fair. Pushing around from L-Block, spots out Yugi. It's going to be a bit of an awkward firefight. He does come out on top, however. You have the manpower advantage as well. It's a 3 versus 2. Make it just a 3 versus 1 now, as AZ not able to go crazy as he shut down, institutionalized there. Push back through from Kirby, clearing towards the site. Oh, he is getting the spam off. Gets a slight read on towards Fur and smashes in his skull. Taps the bomb to force the face, but there really isn't much time. Phelps, he has to just hold his ground. He realizes he has pretty much secured the deal, and they will get this opening pistol round, Blair.
Yeah, valiant effort from Kirby, and Phelps there denying the final, the 4K for Kirby. And for Kirby, yeah, there's not much he could do there. He had to get, I think, the 1v3, and Phelps played that to perfection. And even if he had peeked out, I do believe there was not much time remaining for him to get the defuse. And that's the problem. If you get the bomb down, and if your opponents get the bomb down and you have no kits to work with for that retake, it's always going to be a problem. You need to get this kill really quickly. But coldzera, man, what an opening. A love tap with the P250 to get the opening kill. And MIBR, they win the pistol round and you have a pretty solid buy going into what will be a full eco for North.
It's a good way to kick it off. Puts you in a nice little position on the T side, especially as you can now instantly get into it, setting the pace. You have the better firepower, way stronger arsenal there, rocking the 2 SMGs onto Taco and Fallen, Phelps with the Galil, and then finally the 2 Kalashnikovs brought to the table to cause a little bit of the Moscow madness into this round. Slow stuff though, no reason to overextend yourself and throw caution to the wind. Simply just clearing their angles as they set themselves out. Taco sets himself towards A. And does well on his mission, gets first contact, finds Gade, and they're just picking them apart. B is completely open as well. If Fallen pushes in here, Blair, he can have the read.
He should have the read, but considering it's just a USB stack, I don't really see North pulling off anything mental here, and you can see Fur clearing angles out. He's been tapped out down, though. I say USBs can't do much damage, but AZ does get that kill. Taco getting dinged down as well. There's no need for him to commit to this fight anymore. He's got backup in the form of his teammates sneaking up. They know there's at least one player towards A. They're not sure about the second one, however. But yeah, I don't really see this round going wrong for MIBR. Fallen's clearing out all the angles. They're going to get the bomb down towards speed, not really bothering taking the fights. Taco still making that palace his home for the time being, though.
So, mission of recovery here for Yugi, potentially. Unfortunately, it will be the Galil, the lesser of the weapons they brought out into this round, but nevertheless, it's still a bit of a gem in the rough he can carry on with. Taco as well, currently just trapped towards Palace. If they wanted to be a bit rogue about this, they could push in. But it seems like they are just going to hunker down. So most likely the 4-player survival there for MIBR and a second round secured. Playing it quite nicely, obviously just more of a classic round, Blair. Slow, clinical, and clean.
Yeah, just textbook stuff, right? You know it's an anti-eco. You're not sure if it's a force buy or not. I like how Taco was just feeling things out from Palace, just like rattling off a few bullets. And the moment you realize that they just have USPs, they didn't really overcommit. They didn't go for the hunt. They got the bomb down. It's okay. You lost a Galil. That's fine. Let them use it. And will they actually get away with the Fallen? Finds the kill on the Yugi, and I think he knows where the final player is as well. He spots him out. He's going to take out the Galil. He's going to go for the kill. He is indeed going to get the wallbang on Valde. So all things considered, they just lose the 1 UMP, get the bomb down, get all the kills. MIBR are going to be pretty happy with that. For North, however, Jackie, it is going to be the buy. And it's going to be a lot of Augs coming in here with a Soul M4 in the hands of Mr. Captain Valde himself.
Yeah. It's actually quite historic as well, because you don't realize you're living in the moment until it passed, Blair. And this might be one of the last tournaments we actually see the Orc being utilized so heavily, obviously with the actual balance changes coming back through. So this really is our last opportunity to see some more Granger stuff. And North still sticking to their guns. They bring out 4 of the bad boys. However, it doesn't work out well for Gade. Gets overly aggressive. coldzera, the lurking lunatic, gets 2 to kick it off.
Didn't even have to do anything there. They just walked into his crosshair. He gets the first kill. AZ not going for the immediate trade at all. The timing is absolutely horrendous for Valdemar. He will be found out, double teamed by Fallen and Fer. Now Kirby, they might not be expecting this. He's going to win the duel, finds Fer. And he's going to reposition himself, avoiding the bullets, but a 2v4 with the bomb making its way towards the B bomb side. This should be the call for the save. coldzera still lurking around. Yugi has no idea. It's all about timing. He spots him out. And Yugi desperately needs to try and keep his gun alive. They need to save his 2 rifles to give themselves a sliver of a chance. He's patiently biding his time, but coldzera will find a third for himself. It's all in Kirby to try and inflict a little bit more damage and hold on to this rifle. He finds Cold and is going to be running for the hill, but look at the hunt. It's already on.
Yeah, they're going to be coming after him. coldzera already showing just how crisp he can be to kick this one off. There is a Krieg waiting around the corner. It's actually the scope on Fallen, so it's going to be the AWP just hunkered down, pre-aiming the angle. If Kirby has a reason to overextend, he will suffer the same fate as his teammates. All he really has to do is hold. They are close towards ramp, but it doesn't seem like they're actually going to dove in and go for the push. So MIBR with 3 rounds. North didn't work out well on the buy. The 2-player push towards ramp. They were trying to get the trade back against Cold. It was just a little bit too late. And all they were left with for their troubles was a bit of a rough start.
Yeah, I like the aggro play towards A-Slope, right? Just the fact that it was not enabled by a flashbang. Maybe a pop flash from the CD guy playing towards Ticket Booth could have potentially netted them a free kill onto coldzera, but everything's, hindsight's always 20/20. They're probably hoping to get that opening kill. Doesn't work out. They do have the AK-47 on Kirby. As Fallen and coldzera, they strike simultaneously. The Krieg is going to come into play as well. Cold and Taco wielding the SG, which, you know what, Jackie? That could come into the meta down the line with the AUG getting nerfed here.
Potentially so. It opens up a lot of different avenues for things to fall in space a little bit differently now. Not as heavily favored, obviously, maybe brushing a little bit back towards the M4A4 being used again as more of the main investment, just like the old days. But right now, though, into this round, 1 minute and 15 on the clock, tons of mid-control has been gifted to MIBR. They're allowed to do whatever they want, and it seems like short is going to be the call, the push through, straight towards Valde. 5-7 in hand, but is he going to be able to pick up 5 frags with this one small gun?
Unlikely. Fair is still floating around top of mid. Kirby is going to be a little annoyed with that. And Valde is using that smoke to time it right. Unfortunately, almost gets Cold, but Cold will survive at 4 points of health. And Gade, the last player remaining, don't see him doing much. Fair is going to get the kill. That's going to be a flawless run for MIBR. They're looking very good here, especially when it comes to the money there, Jackie.
Yeah, it's a good position to be in. Obviously, they're building up cash. They're going to have that money to splash. But if they want to go out on the town, treat themselves to a couple of rosés here and there, they won't really see that going shy. North, however, now have the reinvestment capability. All the scopes, all the players, everyone's going in for it.
That's kind of mental, isn't it? There are 8 scoped weapons in the server right now, apart from the 2 AK-47s. Well, that is the current meta we find ourselves in as Fallen. The timing was good there. Tiny little sliver. He lands a shot, decapitates AZ, and will make his way to safety. Gade, a little too late to go for the trade, and Fallen's already legged it. But, that being said, Taco is all the way towards Palace. Now, will Gade continue to push on towards T-spawn? It's a question. This is ballsy from him. This could actually walk on out. If he can gather information. But again, it could be information misplay, because the fact that he could be calling, hey guys, the A-bomb site's clear, but we still have Taco coming in from behind. He's going to spot out Gade there. Oh no, Gade turns around at the right time, finds Taco, but then his hand has been spotted. Now they know where he is. So MIBR, they're going to switch things up. They're going to be going for this fast play towards B.
This has actually deviated him in towards the B-bomb site, though, that is better bolstered in terms of the defense. Kirby as well. A critical kill as he picks up 2 early frags on the entry. Everyone's been decimated, and it's all down to Fer. He's going to have to go ferocious into the round. Locks horns with Valde. Proves that he can overthrow. Yugi with a nice peek in, but all he gets for his troubles is decapitation. Loses the face and loses his head. Fer looking for more, trapped into the 1 versus 1. Bomb is down, a sneaking suspicion of where Gade is going to be coming from, and this could be glorious. A round out of nothing potentially here from Fer. It looked like it was going to be the way of North, but instead MIBR might be able to just make it happen. Here's the drop down. Gade advances towards the bomb, has no idea that he's just sat behind him, waiting for the right opportunity to strike, but he spams in towards the smoke blur, gives his hand away, shows it off, but it won't matter. It's the 4K for Fer, and 5th round secured for MIBR.
That was so well played by Fer. He gets the first kill. I think he heard Yugi rotate all the way from kitchen or market. He lines it up perfectly. Yugi just creeps into his crosshair. I'm not sure how Fer figured out Gade was there. Maybe he heard a footstep, which we didn't hear, but he was so sure what Gade's going to be coming in from. And Gade was actually being very cheeky there. They spotted him towards T-spawn, and he continued to push on ahead through apartments, and he should have potentially won that, but such a beautiful clutch by Fer. And that means it's going to be eco territory once more for North, as MIBR, they continue to have this flawless run so far on the T side.
Yeah, this is really brutal. They look warmed up as well with the Kriegs and the AKs. Normally you talk about T-side, it's about getting those AKs in your hands, right? You feel like you can just take the fights. Right now it's been the Kriegs doing the majority of the work. The work, rather. A minute and 25 on the clock here into this one. Fallen trying to get the pick towards short. Kjaerbye just teasing him, showing me a little bit of ankle, a little bit of how's your father, Blair.
Yeah. North looking, and here's the thing, it's not like North are doing anything too crazy. They're being adventurous and whatnot. It's just that MIBR, like, everyone's looking so sharp here early in the morning, or rather early in the afternoon, as North, once again, it's a little bit of a, you know, a mixed up buy here, not just a full eco, as we've seen a couple of times already. We do have the 5-7s and the Desert Eagles as well, as Valda, who has been the star for the team so far in this tournament, hasn't really done much yet so far. They're pretty default split up. Again, North relinquishing mid control without really taking a fight. And they haven't really taken a fight towards mid, even when they had the guns to work with. As Fallen is going to strike first. Valde is going to fall. Instant brain surgery through the noggin, as Phelps is going to find AZ as well. So 1 by 1, they should fall here unless Gade does something crazy, but he gets peeked almost simultaneously by 2 players. And 1 by 1, they fall. MIBR should have no trouble getting to round number 6 here.
When are North actually going to be able to get themselves on the scoreboard as well? Struggling right now. Obviously just demolished down to the weak pistols they had going into this one. You couldn't give too much stock in their favor. Kjaerbye's the last remaining man on a bit of a scouting mission, seeing how much of a nuisance potentially he could be. Does have armor and a deagle, so the save wouldn't be the worst position in the world to be in. But when we get into that next round, Blair, we need to see him try and reinvigorate themselves really going forward, because at this point, it's a struggle, right? 5 rounds already conceded over. This is going to be a 6th picked up. At that point, you got to wonder, when are you going to be able to respond? It's really getting to dangerous territory.
It is indeed. Yugi yet to really get off the mark as well. Although right now he's going to get the AWP, so he will have a good chance to start trying to be a little bit more impactful here. But yeah, apart from Kjaerbye, he's been getting a few kills here and there, but again, kills which haven't really converted into rounds being won. In the meantime, Fer is just starting off in a very, very strong foot here. And bear in mind, he is the best performing player for MIBR so far in the tournament, followed closely by Fallen and Cole. So it's a very good sign. If Fer is activated, MIBR could be a pretty dangerous team.
Well, the buy comes back through. Healthy utility. Good weapons across the board. Yugi on the AWP, as you said. He's a sniper with a hell of a scope. Well, let's see if he can actually start to punish and poke. He goes out towards mids, looks for an early pick, but no one is going to be greeting him. They're all grouped up towards A. The smoke out from ramp, the push coming in, the convergence on the site is nice. Fallen has to grab the bomb and now advance in, but he's completely surrounded. His entire team is being tackled. He's the only one that gets a response, takes down AZ, but at this point, it's an awful spot to be in. He's got a marathon across to B, Blair.
Oh yeah, and coldzera, it's all about timing. If he can't push on it now, he's still worried that there might be a player from North still holding on towards that B bomb site, and that tiny little window of opportunity seems like it's passed on for coldzera. Kjaerbye has made his way back towards the B bomb site. But yeah, if it just pushed in towards market, that could be free bomb site. coldzera going to come charging out. He doesn't know there's a player there. Flashes from his teammates, but he's not finding anyone. Kjaerbye gets spotted up. It doesn't really matter. He's going to win the deal. Fallen comes charging out to trade with his teammate. Op out. He's going to go for the combat op here. Scoped in. Oh, what a flick from Fallen. Just destroys Kjaerbye. And now it's a 1v3. He's got time to work with. Oh, but the timing on that peak, but the Triangle of Doom is setting on around him. I have a player coming in from short, one from apps. Fallen, he knows he's trapped, but he's got to find an opening here. The flashbang from short is going to announce a presence. He's teasing him, but he's going to find a kill on the gate. But Valde from behind will ensure that Fallen does not get up to any more shenanigans. But for a moment there, it looks like we're going to be seeing some vintage stuff coming out from Mr. Fallen.
It was almost the clutch. You could see it slowly happening. Just the cogs turning in Fallen's brain, allowing him to understand what he needs to do into that clutch round. It was beautifully executed. The flick on the first was just outrageous, I mean, to say the least, right?
I mean, he was so close by, and most other robbers at that range had probably gone for the no-scope flick. But Fallen, he is so confident in his skill. He scoped into the window, and he's like, you know what? If they come out of the window, I'm going to take the shot. If he comes up peeking right in front of me, I'm still going to go for the flick. And for a moment there, Jackie, I believed.
Oh yeah, I had faith going into it. Yugi finally actually puts his pin into the game though, gets his first kill into that prior round, and this time he is going to be scoped out towards middle. Molotov'd off, so he can't actually get the line of sight. He can try and lock down short, but this mid control has been such a big position for MIBR. They've been given free reign the majority of the rounds. More of an aggressive close connector play though from AZ this time, pushed in, had support of Valde from short as well. Once the Molotov fades towards window, Yugi could try and re-aggress if he wants to. There's no smoke there, but it won't matter. Peering over the top, it's tall man AZ finding Taco.
That's a very well played flashbang by AZ, but that's going to allow a window. Oh no, the timing! Oh, he almost gets taken down, and Felt as well switches over to the smoke, and is going to get taken down. A comedy of errors towards Connector, but it will be taken by MIBR, but they are 2 men down compared to all 5 players being alive for North. In fact, having taken no damage. Fer is going to be pushed in towards jungle, the flashbang enabling him. But look at the position here from the player towards Palace. I do believe it's Gade, and he could be the difference maker. Kirby's going to find Fer in the meantime, and Gade is going to walk on out. The timing is perfection as Valde strikes as well, and a flawless round from North, and that's a round they desperately needed. They need to keep a few players alive, start building up a bank, as they would be looking to mount this comeback into this half.
Yeah, way better. A whole lot more opportunity, obviously, for the crossfires. The trades were there. This is what we needed to see, right? It was a little bit stagnant in those first couple of rounds. They weren't really set up in a poised position to do too much. The only aggressive plays we saw, they can't really be traded. Both times, Gade wasn't really in a position where he could have effectively brought it back into their favor, but adaptation, it's working well. North, showing signs of life, causing a pause to come out from MIBR as well.
The one problem I find with the way North is set up on the CD side here is they've been giving up mid control so much, just completely just relinquishing it. The problem is MIBR were up towards Connector with 1 minute and 40 seconds on the clock. That is not ideal at all. When you have that much map control so early on, your windows of opportunity just are flung wide open. You can do whatever you want. Sure, that round didn't work out, but now MIBR, knowing that they're not really having any trouble at mid, could make things a little trickier for North here, as we do see yet another buy coming in from the Brazilians. They're not going to have any trouble buying up, because they had built up a pretty decent bank. The run boost, is it going to come on out here, Jackie?
Oh, I mean, potential for it. Right now, coldzera just going for the jump spot, at least to get the information and see if there was any push up mid. No one is going to be actually greeting him there and taking that firefight towards him. A bit of a change in setup once again as well, as they've just left Gade towards the close ramp, just stuck there on his own rather than going for the aggressive information play. It is a little bit better in terms of the map control. They've got advanced positioning. AZ with the timing. If he actually does try and go for a bit more of an extension here, it could be rough. He has got view towards underpass as well, and there's 2 tricksters coming towards him, Blair.
Yeah, and MIBR, they read it, right? They were like just waiting patiently for some aggression from North. They were expecting that aggro play, and they've taken their time, and now here comes the take for mid. Again, North not really contesting mid, and this time Fallen's there with the op, daring AZ to peek on out and try and get cheeky with the AUG that he has in his hands. We have a smoke coming in towards jungle as well, towards window, and MIBR once again looking for the pincer. The main player here, again, is going to be Taco, floating towards that Palace area, where he's been there, I think, virtually every round. And here they come creeping up. Yugi with the op. He's going to be instrumental in this defense.
Yeah, but he's scoped in towards ramp. He's not prepared for this one. Gade has to do the damage, and Gade actually does it very effectively. Finds the first 2 kills. AZ comes through, bludgeons down Fallen. They advance over towards CT. Yugi with 1. He's not content with just the first. He wants to finish off that appetizer with the main meal. Chomps down onto coldzera, and North just 3 rounds away from equalizing the scoreline now.
I'm just so scared looking at the setup from North. Yes, great double kill by Gate, great double kill by Yugi, well played indeed. But again, like if Gate didn't get that first kill or those both the kills, things could have just fallen apart, right? You have Taco is going to be coming out from Palace. This is a pretty high risk setup in my opinion. You don't want to play that deep inside a side with this Crossfire is being set up, especially if you're doing it time and time again. However, this particular round, ooh, a lot of damage being dealt out, especially MIBR is going to be happy with that. Look at the aggression from Fer. Trademark aggression from the man. Spots off the shoulder, doesn't quite land a shot though. It is pretty much an eco round, however, for MIBR. They do have a few upgraded pistols. And from North, this is a round that you want to win without taking much casualties. I say that as coldzera plucks the head clean off Valde's shoulders.
It's a start, but they've still got a whole lot more damage to do. They thrive in the chaos. Can chaos ensue towards this B-bomb site? The back off from Fallen as he was trying to fake them out. If anyone was listening towards short, they would have heard that audio cue, making them believe that it is a retreat. AZ gets the kill back on towards Fer. Fallen also going down, suffering the same fate, and it's all left up to Cold. But is he going to be warm? Left at the 1 versus 4. Deagle, finger on the trigger, itching to try and land a headshot right between the eyes onto someone here towards this B site. Doesn't have much time left, Blair. If he can just try and get some weapons out of their hands onto the low players, potentially, that might be the best bet.
Indeed. And Cold, I mean, this is his most famous spot. Unfortunately, he's on the wrong side of that spot. He will be found out by AZ. And North, slowly but surely, they are starting to grind back into this game. A good round there, just that one casualty means that the money is starting to blossom for North. They have a lot in the coffers. You can see an average of about $7,000 or like 6 to 7K on each and every one of these players after they've bought up all the utility and all the Kevlar and whatnot. So they're feeling confident here. This is where they start stringing a few rounds together and make things a little bit more competitive as they would be moving over towards the T side. For MIBR, this could be a switch up here. 3 players just aggressing towards B apps and underpass. Actually make that 2 players. And a lot of presence, a lot of utility being tossed in towards B. That could draw the rotation. Now we have 3 players towards B bomb side and just 2 players towards connected. Fallen is doing such a great job selling distraction, but are the rest of his teammates going to speed things up and going to be making this hit towards A is the question, where 2 players are towards connector. And North, they're now might be thinking as to what's going on. This is a lot of chaos being sown by MIBR. A misinformation game here being played by the Brazilians, and that's going to be... So North, this is a scenario where they kind of overthink themselves or they just stick to what they've been doing so far. We do see a player, I do believe that's Gate, who's made his way towards Shadow. They have Yugi with the op towards Ticket Booth. A player playing passively towards jungle. So again, very default setups after the initial flurry of misinformation. They're AZ finds Phelps with Fer with a very, very quick trade indeed. Yugi now getting pressurized.
Yeah, lurking in the shadows. Already starting to be a little bit of a thorn in their side. Gade, though, almost burnt alive, looking like Danish barbecue as he pushes his way across. So much damage done, yet he hasn't been able to get his bloodlust pumping. Doesn't take both of them down. They're still alive, and in a scenario where they could excel from this point forward. Molotov cast out from Yugi. This will isolate the site, almost burns coldzera to a crisp as well, and he still holds strong. There's a rotation in, the backstab from Valde. We have 19 seconds left on the clock here. If Valde finds Taco, already at that point, you have a good position to play off. You can take him down. 100 HP, spots it with a twist back around. The Krieg comes through. They're remaining supreme, and this is now going to be an awful retake. They're not going to fancy it, and they're going to call it quits.
I felt like Yugi had saved it round with the Molotov. That was such a perfect Molotov. It ensured they would not be able to get the bomb down at any safe spot whatsoever. And Valde, he ran and he legged it all the way towards T-spawn, came in behind Taco. And bear in mind, Taco had not checked behind him in such a long time. But then the spider sense started tingling a little bit there, Jackie. And you got to feel for Valde there.
That's rough. It is unlucky. He was in a position to do so much damage. The round could have been completely reopened. The Molotov was very effective, though. That's one of those plays that literally one more tick, and that would have been another kill. You put them in that other position, would have forced another play out of the hands of MIBR. They wouldn't have been able to play as cautiously as they did. Could have been a whole different round. Instead, though, it's the 7th picked up for MIBR. There's still cash to splash for North. They're going to reinvest back into this one. Yugi's still on the AWP. He hasn't really had that much of an impact, though. We need to see something a little bit more explosive coming out from it. It's been so laxed. They're effectively giving away free real estate as mid-control.
Yeah, and well, it's been kind of working out, right? If you look at the previous round, I rarely say this, Jackie, but I felt like North were a little unlucky. Gade with a two-man sprayed out, he should have got at least one kill. That didn't happen. The Molotov was great, but it didn't really wind up changing anything. So I feel like they were a little unlucky, and hey, if it's working, why fix it, right? It is kind of working for them, although I'm not a big fan of this, turtled up setup that they seem to have towards these bomb sites at Phelps. Oh no. North, they're going to be caught napping. Yugi taken down. Will Phelps be expecting a second player there? No, he's not, but doesn't really matter. They're all going to fall. And Kirby doing so much damage, and Fallen survives on 1 HP, Fair on 5. But that's nothing much he can do from here. The bomb's going to be planted, and they're going to be running for the hills. And MIBR, again, this is what happens, right, Jackie? You give so much map control, they have so many opportunities, and Kirby, is he going to be expecting this player waiting in the corner? Oh! Completely whiffs it. That was just ripe for the plucking, and unfortunately, oh, you hate to say it. You hate to see it.
My goodness, Blur. Run to the hills, run for your lives. Instead of that one, it was more of a fight for your life. Both of them somehow barely coming out. With Kirby just on 9 HP, sat there waiting for the aggression to come around. Taco, he's going to clear it, but it doesn't matter. Kirby lands it, a tasty shot to round that one out, somehow keeps himself in the action. Top fragging by far for the side of North right now with 13 kills to his name. But kills are not the commodity. Rounds are, and 8 of them have been secured for MIBR. A tactical timeout coming through for North.
I don't believe in Guardian Angels, but I think there is one who's looking out for Kirby at this point in time. I have no idea how he's surviving a few of these duels, but yeah, MIBR, they strike back. It was looking like North were going to be mounting up a comeback here, and they have got 4 rounds on board. I don't think it's enough yet, but MIBR winning 2 back-to-back has now made things a little bit more worrisome for North. And with just 3 rounds remaining in this half, for MIBR to get to 10 rounds on the T side, that could just be the win condition here for the Brazilians, as we will be going into map number 2. And this is, of course, bear in mind the pick from MIBR, and right now it is panning out wonderfully for them. For North, however, the fact that they won this 4 rounds in a very convincing fashion means they can still buy in. They have the AK safe from the previous round. They have 2 AUGs, M4, and the AWP, once again in the hands of Yugi, who has been kind of quiet this time around.
Ooh, Fur with a Fast and Furious.
What?
Straight down, he's all the way up short. He's already towards the B site. This is lunacy. Spots out Yugi. He's not content with just seeing him. He wants to brutally rip his way through him, leaves him lifeless on the ground. The B site is theirs in about, what, 5 seconds?
I'm sorry. He was in the B bomb side with 1 minute and 37 seconds on the clock. I don't even.
Blur, he got to B quicker than some of my matchmaking teammates do.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was... that's like Flash level speeds right there. I'm surprised he wasn't bending time and going back in the past. He just ran in the B bomb side. I can't even blame the player. I do believe it was AZ who was all alone. And he was probably wondering what in God's name is happening here. As, yeah, Fair just basically... just a speed demon on steroids. And that's a bomb site done, the round over. What was it? How long did the round take? Like 45 seconds? That is including the bomb timer as well.
Wait, it's more so, what was the period of time between round start to Fur being on B site? Like at least 10 seconds?
Yeah, about 8 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Because he was there at 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. And that's going to force North to take a tactical timer to wonder, was he like using like a speed hack or something? Because that was ridiculous.
He's out Ivy, through connector. It's like a speed demon.
And cue in the music.
My goodness, the reincarnation of Foon. The Fern. There you go, Fern. It works out.
It works out, Jackie. I'll give you one that.
That's absolute madness. That round was actually knocked me for 6. Literally through both of the smokes, up short, into the B site, spots Yugi, wrecks face, and at that point, B site was theirs. It was the single man setup as well, so they had the read. They know how North have been playing this, with the majority of players obviously set up towards A, Yugi being quite aggressive towards the B site into that round, and it all just came together. It all works out.
Can I just point out the fact that he spotted the player out towards mid, the 2 CDs that pushed up mid, he didn't bother taking the fight.
Yeah.
In all the cases, like, I have a mission, let's get to the B bomb side, and he did it, and that is Phil, a man on a mission, a killing machine indeed, and he makes it work here. As I might better switch things up though, again they have a player towards B apartments. I do believe, I'm not sure who it is, I think it is Fallen, trying to probably find any aggression towards underpass from the CTs. If they do peer down there, They're going to be waiting. They're going to be finding a big green gun scoped in and waiting for them. And MIBR, they are setting up for this A play here. And for North, unfortunately, there's no one in the bomb site apart from their one player. I do believe that is Gade. And if the smokes are going to be raining in, he needs to make a decision real quickly. Does he remain inside the site and have to go for the solo fight, or does he fall on back and go for the retake play? But I say that, but it looks like MIBR have a different plan in mind.
Well, right now I'm just seeing if there is any potential aggression coming through from North. They're playing quite far back angles, hoping that there will be some kind of push. We've seen a lot of those towards the A ramp, so once again a bit of a fake there from Taco, throwing over the flashbang, supported by Cold. But they're deviating back. The flashbang over towards mid. This should actually mess with them slightly towards the two players that are set up there. They do actually have quite an advanced position, though. They've been able to push out, but it doesn't appear to be any type of mid-control play. It's the all-up, grouped-up burst towards A, the straight-up execute. You've got the smokes, you've got the flashbangs. They're going to go in off the back of this at the last few seconds of the round. But you know what? There's only one man actually close by on the scene of the crime. That's going to be Gade that needs to go big.
Yep. Uh-oh, that was, I think it was kind of a failed Molotov there, but the rest of the smokes and Molotovs will not fail. Here comes the execute Gade inside the site.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, he will get double teamed as Phelps continues to re-aggress out. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite get the kill on the AZ. He wasn't really blinded out. And there's been a bit of damage inflicted onto Fallen as well. Fair drops on down. Unfortunately, a little bit of aggression, unnecessary. I'm a little surprised what Fair was doing there, and that's going to make things a little bit more interesting for North. They're in a 4v2. They have the advantage, and coldzera, what could he possibly do? He's got a little bit of an edge there to spot a player out. He's going to walk on out. He's playing this to perfection. He's going to find one. Doesn't get the second kill, though, and it's going to leave it all on Taco. 1v3. Bomb ticking away. He doesn't have... Oh, time is not his friend. Yugi's going to stick this. And Taco finds one. Goes for the 3 in the smoke. Unfortunately, it will find nothing. And it's going to be North winning a round. And it kind of felt like, Jackie, that MIBR kind of threw that one away. 2 players died without really needing to go for any aggro plays.
Potentially so. It looked like it was still potentially going to happen even at the end there as well. The response, the first Krieg shot was absolutely beautiful, and there was still so much to give. However, Blair, no matter the fact they've thrown away that round, think of it like this. It's a 9-5 scoreline. Not only have they already won the half, they're looking to completely destroy the half.
Oh yeah, and this time around, and this is the thing, the way North have been playing so far has been so reactive, and MIBR have forced them to go for these fights towards mid. Nice shot from Yugi there, but look at the player popping up from behind like a jack in the box. It's fair, he strikes, and a man advantage has been neutralized.
Sprinting straight out. Rips them a new one as he hits them in the rear. Phelps as well, going to be able to punish Gade. Flashbang over, might actually save him as the smoke comes down, but Valde arrives just in the scene of time. Gets the kill onto coldzera, close towards the smoke as well. They're going to have to pick up the bomb. He tiptoes his way out. Valde is just destroying everyone. Luckily enough, Fur will be able to get the final kill and round it out for a nice 3K into the round. 10-5. This one is action-packed. See how it goes down in the second half after the break. Well, well, well. A 10-5 half there from IBR, who made a quick player substitution into that previous half, Blair, when they replaced Fur with a Ferrari as he just breezed his way down. It was pretty ridiculous if you missed it. 16-9.
Yeah, I'm going to call him Barry Allen going forth here. As 10-5 is a dream scoreline for MIBR. And, you know, is this going to bite North in the butt later on is a question? Because, you know, it's a map. I was a little surprised North didn't ban out earlier on, but hold on to that thought. They come barreling out the waterfall of death from Palace as AZ will find Fur, but Phelps replies back, finds 2 quick headshots, Gate with the trade, but he's now been tagged down to 20 HP. And the bomb is making its way, but look at the flank from Voldy with coldzera. He knows what's going on here. Kirby finds Taco in the meantime, and now it's a 2v2. Bomb isolated on the back of, I do believe that is Gade, and he's got a lot of work to do here.
Thing is, they should still have a pretty good idea of where Gade is. He was forced back. He's been trapped there the entire time. Fallen is still covering, watching towards dark. coldzera actually going to spot towards mid, and believe Kirby could be rotating out through underpass. Fallen puts himself on a pedestal, an elevated angle. He's a bit more exposed, but the timing doesn't work out well. They actually might think this is a B play. Fallen rotates off. Both of them can tiptoe their way out. They don't have to make much noise here. The only one that's going to be on the site is Cold. This could work out well for North. There's a whole lot they can do if they play their cards right.
But there are too many angles to check. That's the problem. Kirby, is he going to be expecting Cold in that position? He actually might. He looks the wrong way, though. Is he going to check it? Spots a barrel. He saw the barrel! And now he does. He steps at coldzera. Spots him out. The duel's going to come in, but Cole's going to come out on top. And unfortunately, Gade, not just being the last man left alive, but on 20 HP, has a lot of work to do. He needs to land the headshots, and coldzera dancing with him, the dance macabre. And Gade getting wall banged as well. Somehow, he's alive, but coldzera is closing in for the kill, and Gade has so much work to do here.
Oh, this is rough, left in a 1v2. What was potentially going to be such a nice round for them has now quickly fallen back into chaos. They push him aggressively, they give him a bit of an opportunity, but he won't actually land the shots. coldzera with a clean hat-trick into that round, did so much damage, somehow went unnoticed towards Connector as well. The step back on towards stairs, oh, Blair. It all went wrong.
I think look, I'm not sure, I guess. It was AZ, I do believe, right? Or Kirby. I think Kirby. It was Kirby, right? Does he play a 4x3? Could be.
But I feel like that would still be in Vision. Unless it was just, you know, it's one of those things.
It's one of those things.
You'll never know.
You never know. I mean, I know I've made way worse mistakes than the times I used to play, so especially when the nerves are there and it's a 2v2, you need to win the pistol round. Things can go wrong at times. As MIBR, though, they've won both the pistol rounds so far. They have all the guns. Early AUGs being brought up and 3 MP9s means they can be a little cheeky here. For North, however, Jackie, they've gone for this. They've gone for the buy. The SG in the hands of Yugi, who has been having a rough game so far. Just 3 kills for him in that first half, and he'll be looking to try and make up for it.
Yeah, needs to do a little bit better on the T side here and actually start to punish them. It seemed like he was going to get a first pick there if we saw the wide swing from Connector. Instead, though, it's 2 fast kills from IBR as they capitalize. Looking like a well-oiled machine now already into this round, Blair.
Yeah, and look at Fallen. He's already inside Palace. He's walking up with MP9s. And that's the confidence that you have when you have such a pretty good lead going to the CT side. I don't think we ever saw North really go for any aggression towards Palace. Taco always had control of Palace for whatever play they had in mind. So you can see MIBR already a couple of steps ahead. Here, though, with this A hit coming in, although they are 2 men down, it's only Phelps there. And Fallen's there as well towards Palace, but he's going to be a little further away. So Phelps, the second he spots a player out, don't think he's going to be committing to a fight. He's just going to be tossing in a smoke, and it's going to be falling on back. He hasn't still spotted out anyone, and now he does. He's going to be tossing in the smoke and waiting for his teammates to arrive to go for this retake.
Just trying to buy time for the rotation. Fallen, though. The sneaky play, gets himself out, finds the first. It's an easy spray down for a tasty 2k, but he wants himself the ferocious free. Won't quite get it. coldzera will be able to overthrow Gade, and that is a 12th round secured. Looking very, very good here on Mirage. At least for North, it was a bomb plant. Give themselves an extra bit of a bolster going forward, so the economy's in a bit of a better spot.
And free upgrades for MIBR. They had 2 AUGs, they had 3 MP9s. Sure, they lose the 3 MP9s, but guess what else they got? They got the SG, and they pick up an AK-47 as well. Free upgrade for days for MIBR. That's going to help their money as well. Going into what could be, potentially, the remaining last few rounds here. The 5th gun being purchased will be Fallen on the AWP as well. And for North, they will be using I do believe the third timeout of the game. They've been struggling a bit here. Apart from Kirby having a pretty solid game, the rest of them haven't really quite hit their stride.
No, that is very true. I mean, 17-8, he's been doing an awful lot of damage. It feels like Foul Day today compared to what we saw, obviously, versus Liquid. It's a little bit more night and day, right? It's not as impactful as it was. AZ as well, still up there in a close second, but yesterday it was way more aggressive, way more crazy in some of the kills that were actually coming through. So the big picture, though, Yugi, 3-11. When he was on the AWP CT side, I needed more from him, Blair.
And yeah, and this is the interesting thing. When we saw North on the CD side on Dust 2 against Liquid, it was so much more fluid. They were being very proactive. They were going for information plays and whatnot. And that CD side, they didn't really do much, to be honest. Weren't really able to capitalize on players like Yugi, like you mentioned. So that CD side was a very far cry from what we expected. And this is what MIBR are doing, which North should have done very early in that first half. Being proactive, getting map control, poking and prodding, making things uncomfortable for their opponents. And MIBR are just showing how to play the CT side. And North, though, here, they do have a couple of smokes and a flashbang, a few upgraded pistols. They'll be looking to at least get the bomb down, maybe get a couple of kills, make things a little nice for them. But yeah, I don't think this is a round that should go wrong for the Brazilians.
No, this is just going to be Fallen's normal dream, really. Sat there towards CT with an AWP in his hand, wanting them to entry one by one, which they are. Finally, the Wolfpack comes in, but they're giving him so many opportunities to land these shots. Phelps wants a piece of the pie as well, as he'll actually pick up 2 of those kills and for the final killing blow. A body full of, well, a floor full of bodies there as everyone goes down. Left, right, good night, Blair, and it's not looking great. 13-5. Finally, they have weapons to work with. But at this point, you've left yourself with not much breathing room. It really is now or never.
Bear in mind, the last time these two teams played against each other, MIBR were, I think, 14 rounds, and North were on 14-4, 14-5, and North managed to win that game in a triple or quadruple overtime. So let's not count him out quite yet, but yes, I do agree, especially on a map like Mirage, when you're on the T side and you're trailing by 8 rounds, 13-5, it's never going to be easy. You're going to require some miraculous rounds. You're going to have to also rely on your opponents making mistakes and playing too scared. And right now, MIBR are not scared at all. Look at the aggression coming out from the Yugi, however, is going to open things up. He gets the opening pick as finds both the players towards mid. Ver and Fallen will fall. And North, finally, for the first time in a very long time, they have an edge here.
That's a whole lot better. That's what I wanted to see. I want to see some of this aggression from Yugi. He's normally like a phoenix. He just goes in, rises from the ashes, leaves everywhere scorched. But we haven't really seen that right now. At least this is a start. 2 kills for the man into opening up this round. Gives them a position to build from. You've still got just under a minute on the clock as well, so they don't need to overextend themselves. Tons of utility left on Gade and Kirby, but they only have 1 smoke. Same can be said for MIBR though. They can still delay. They've got that utility to work with, but they are spread fairly thin, and it's actually going to be the 5-man onslaught going towards the A site. They want to take it as their own territory, Blair.
Yeah, and the only way this could potentially be stopped is if MIBR had gone for like a full stack, 3 players just gambling towards A or the B bomb side. But as you pointed out, they're going to be playing this spread thin, 1 player towards CD spawn, towards the toll booth. I do believe that is Phelps with the AUG. And the second he sees the flashes raining in, he's going to be calling for backup here. And he does have a player that's called Zera. At the edge, he could do some damage, and there is a pretty big gap. They're going to cross that over. He does so much damage onto Gade. He's going to try to get the bomb down, and Phelps, he gets the kill, but just as the bomb gets planted, Phelps, though, finds 2. He's making things a little bit more interesting. Smoke on the bomb as well. Flash is going to be raiding out from the CTs. They're using whatever they have to go to mount this retake, and Valde on top, right on top of Shadow, but Phelps spots him out. Triple kill from him. Houses falling apart. Everyone's dying here. Phelps is on a rampage, and now it's all on Yugi. Taco finds him. How have they won this retake? Someone explain to me how North lost that round. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
That is absolutely mind-boggling. That's ridiculous. The fact they've been able to make that one work. Just, I couldn't explain to you if I tried, Blair. That is crazy. The sheer confidence, the push in, all the angles which just presented themselves. They were exposed with no real trade potential. 1 by 1, they just get picked to pieces. North, that was the chance for the comeback. Starts off with the first round. Not only did they get the first entry, they got 2. And it just crumbles to nothing. 14-5. If MIBR pick up this round, they're at least going to have overtime guaranteed, and they'll be one round away from taking the first map here on Mirage. First starts it off as well, continuing where he left off.
I just want to point out that Phelps played that to absolute perfection.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think he made a single wrong misstep there. But then I say that, unfortunately, he loses a duel against Gate. But Gate's on 3 HP. And now, that nade, no! That's gotta suck. That has gotta suck. It's all on AZ and Yugi to make something happen here. AZ does find Fallen, but first still floating around, still being a thorn in this side, and he will scope in, takes a sweet time finding AZ. It's all in Yugi, and coldzera will put him to sleep. 15-5 for MIBR on their choice of map, and it has been quite a masterclass indeed.
Oh, it really has been. It's looking more like the MIBR of old as well. This is what we wanted to see coming through. Just raw aggression straight in there. Some of the peaks they've been bringing to the table are crazy. The individual skill as well. Everyone's stepping up to the mark when they need to. It feels like everyone's really put a shift in. It's not really been down to just one raw performer that's won them these rounds.
Absolutely, and you can kind of see the trademark, the Brazilian flair coming in with some of the plays. We saw Fur earlier, the T side, we saw Phelps and that retake. Some really solid stuff. And going into map number 2, which is going to be Inferno. If I was North, I'm going to be a little worried here. Bear in mind, it's a best of 3. It is MIBR's map pick, so North shouldn't be too worried about the way this map is played out. However, they need to wake up. I think that's been a problem. I think most of these players still seem kind of sluggish at the moment.
Yeah, it's an odd one. I don't know if it's just a bit of fatigue coming into this here, but really MIBR seems to be absolutely on the ball in a lot of these rounds. And they've been looking like ballers, the way they've been winning it as well. At this point, though, around 21, it all comes down to this. North, no more mistakes. Taco taking a bit of damage as the push comes in towards the site. coldzera close in the window. Slumps out the first man, looks to do some more. They're trading effectively right now as it falls back into the 3 versus 3. Make it a 3-on-2. Taco set to tackle them on the entry. AZ's the last to go down, and it's a